Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 12 of Great Amrita Alumni Conclave on the rise of electric vehicle. Amrita Alumni Conclave is a full-fledged virtual webinar series spearheaded by the shining alumni of Amrita. And these sessions are planned as a platform for every engineering aspirant to gather valuable information on all aspects of engineering and get to know the futuristic scope within the various streams of engineering. Today, we have with us Mr. Thejas Menon, Manager Production Engineering, Tesla. He have completed his mechanical engineering from Amrita School of Engineering in the year 2010. Over to you, Tejas.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. Good morning to everybody in India. First of all, I want to congratulate the Directorate of Admissions and Academic Outreach for organizing this great series and giving me this opportunity to come in front of all of you and share some insights on the rise of electric vehicles, which I think is a very important topic in today's global climate. So want to congratulate the department again, and I listened to a lot of talks and a lot of key insights shared, and hopefully the audience learns a few important things from this one as well. So in many ways, I believe that we are at the brink of an electric vehicle boom or an electric boom, but this requires continued global awareness and a lot of key actions to be driven by everybody to accelerate this transition to sustainability. And we cannot talk about electric vehicles without talking about Tesla. Tesla, in many ways, is synonymous with the rise of electric vehicles in the modern era, which is what I'll share some information on today. I currently lead an engineering team in the Tesla Gigafactory at Nevada, and help build the battery packs for the Model 3 and Y cars, which are the red and blue cars that you see on the screen. First and foremost, I'd like to share and talk a little bit about my journey from the university to my career at Tesla. Amma is the light of my life, and in many ways inspires me and many others to constantly think about the higher purpose. And her guidance, as well as everything I've received from the 4 glorious years at Amrita 2006 to 10, is the reason I believe for where I am today. So again, 4 glorious years and a lot of guidance from professors and the lecturers and senior peers and my friends, and really set a great foundation for my engineering career. A lot of key skill sets gained. Amrita, in many ways, gave me an education for life and an education for living, is what I would like to say. So a lot of gratitude for everything I've received from the university, and knowing and realizing the interest of me as well as some of my friends towards aerospace. The university sent me and a small team of my friends to the wind energy division at the later part of my bachelor undergraduate studies. And there we helped build wind turbines. This was a great extension of the engineering program and gave us a good perspective about applying the learnings from the classrooms for solving a relevant problem for the industry. This, in many ways, was the first baby step towards sustainability for me, and also helped me gain a lot of skill sets towards teamwork and set a good foundation for higher learning as well. Post that, I came to the United States and specialized in industrial and manufacturing systems, and did a lot of research work in the area of machining, difficult to machine materials. Worked with titanium grade 5, which is a relevant material for the aerospace industry. And post that, wanted to gain experience applying the learnings in the industry, and went to Zimmer Biomet to help make orthopedic implants for restoring mobility for the human body. And that is where I came to learn about Tesla, and soon after started my career in the company. This shows the rise of the electric car market all the way from 2008 to where we stand today, and also shows the count of electric vehicles that are being released onto the roads every year. The rise of electric, or the growth of electric vehicles in modern era, in many ways starts with the first significant event, I think, the launch of the Tesla Roadster in 2008, which was the first accessible passenger electric vehicle. This was a car which had significantly more range than its predecessors, and thus Tesla kickstarts the growth of electric vehicles. And there's been many milestones soon after, which has led to the popularity. And in 2020, we stand at more than 4% share of market. So key events such as the lithium-ion batteries becoming more affordable, and charging infrastructures being set up, a lot of global support from different nations and regulations around the world. So there's been a lot of key milestones which has helped in increasing this market share, and we need to continue on that path. And I'm very confident that we are heading in the direction of sustainability. 10 million electric cars launched onto the roads in 2020. That's really exciting to see. A lot of this market is still centered in China, in Europe, and the Americas are picking up, and hopefully we see gaining popularity of electric vehicles in many other countries in the coming years and decades. This shows Tesla's mission, very simple and straightforward, yet very powerful. A lot of energy freely available to us from the sun can be stored and can be used to create an ecosystem which consists of storage systems, the batteries and electric vehicles, and thus helps accelerate the transition to sustainability. In many ways, a very important mission. And I believe Tesla in many ways is a good example for a lot of successors to follow on the same mission. It's been 5 glorious years at this company, a really exciting mission to be part of. This shows the history of Tesla and what is called the master plan, which many of you may have heard already. Tesla was founded in 2003 in the state of California in the United States, and in 2010 set up its first vehicle manufacturing factory at the same location, and soon started setting an extensive network of superchargers. Superchargers are the electric version of petrol bunks or gas stations, which is extremely essential and forms a great backbone for for the Tesla network. And soon after, set up the Gigafactory, which is where I work, where the batteries and electric vehicle components are made. And then soon after, from there on, started launching a lot of exciting products, whether it be the energy storage systems for home and industrial applications, or the many different exciting cars as well for the global market. And in many ways, the business model that Tesla followed is a great example for its successors to follow. It had a three-step process. First, starting with manufacturing a low-volume, expensive product, which was a roadster. The intention was to penetrate the market, gain popularity, which it managed to do. Take all the cash flow from that and set up mid-volume cars, which were the S and X, and then from there on, focus on the mass, the high volume and more affordable vehicle, which is the Model 3 and Y. So it was a very effective business model. This is all public information that is collected from Tesla sites and just from Googling. Just to give you a perspective of where the company stands today. Tesla produces more than 25,000 cars in a week currently. More than 70,000 employees work in the company, has a retail and service centers and superchargers around the world, which is a big backbone of the company. More than 2 million Teslas currently launched onto the roads and collecting a lot of miles and progressively helping with reducing carbon dioxide emissions and accelerating that transition. This shows the current state of our current global presence. As I mentioned, everything started on the west coast of the United States with the setup of the Fremont and the Gigafactory. And in recent years, Tesla has set up and accelerated manufacturing in Shanghai, which caters to the Southeast Asia market, and is recently in the process of starting production in the two other sites, one in Texas and in Berlin. If you're following the YouTube channel, there are some exciting videos of the line walk at Giga Berlin. So yeah, I think progressively increasing the presence globally. It's really exciting to see. Hopefully many more factories would come up in the future. This map shows the current presence of electric superchargers, the stores and service centers. As you can see, it's primarily clustered in North America, in Europe, and Asia Pacific locations, and in many ways also a good representation of the electric charging and networks outside of external to Tesla as well. So a lot of these are the three big locations of popularity for electric vehicles currently, and hopefully we see that expanding. And such an infrastructure and network is very essential for the success of any electric vehicle manufacturer, in my eyes. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the electric vehicle architecture, which is fundamentally very different from the gasoline type. On the top left side is a skeletal structure of Model 3, which shows that which shows a rigid structure. In this case, is aluminum. And one thing that is pretty obvious for you is there's no engine in the front, which adds or gives it a lot of advantage for impact protection, and is a very key reason why electric vehicles can be the safest cars. And there is the battery pack, which is located at the bottom part of the car, and also helps with very low rollover risk, further adding to the safety of the car. And the left bottom actually shows the same. It shows that there's a battery pack in the floor, and the red shows the electric motor, which replaces the gasoline engine and provides driving power. And the top left shows the framework again, with the battery pack in the floor supplying power to the electric motor. There's a charging port at the very back of the car, and the battery also provides energy for the cooling and ventilation system, as well as the user interface. So this is fundamentally how the electric vehicle architecture is different than the gasoline type. This shows the version where you have an all-wheel drive. So in an all-wheel drive car, electric car, the change is that there is an additional motor in the front, which is mechanically disconnected. This is where that's another key difference as well. In a gasoline all-wheel car, you have the front wheels and the rear wheels mechanically connected, and in the electric version, it is not. And the computer, the brain of the car, controls how the front and the rear electric motors work in tandem to provide power for the car. So this actually shows how the manufacturing of the vehicle manufacturing happens. On the left side is a top-down view of the assembly plant in California, which is the first factory setup, and shows the key steps in the manufacturing of a car, which is fundamentally not very different for an electric car as compared to a gasoline one. Everything starts with stamping, which is where big pieces of metal are cut from coils to make the body parts, and then they all go to get welded together to form the skeletal structure. We call this the body in white, and then goes to get painted, and then goes to general assembly, which is where all the other components are added to the car, and then rolls out of the factory. And the right-hand side shows the more recently set up Shanghai factory. And you can very clearly see that the newer factory has more streamlined and simpler setup. And this is something that is common as we proceed to setting up newer factories or lines or processes. It always gets more efficient and simpler. These are some exciting videos from Tesla's YouTube channel that actually shows the sequence of events. So this shows aluminum parts getting cut from or stamped out from big rolls, which are all taken to gigantic stamping machines, where these parts are made into the different body elements for the car. Obviously, the factory has a lot of automation where machines pick and place parts and operates on them as well. And this is a stamping operation. And then you see door panels rolling out on the other side. And these are all collected, and then it goes to the body in white part of the factory where they are all welded together. So you can see the skeletal structure of the car is getting formed, and the cars continue to move on the assembly line. There's a good confluence of fully automated as well as semi-automated and manual operations. There are a lot of things machines can do, but there are also a lot of things humans can do as well. And then goes to the paint shop to get painted. And this is the general assembly, or we call it GA, where a lot of components are added. All the seats, the user interface, music system, wheels, battery packs, and then the cars are they roll out of the factory. A lot of road testing is done as well before being delivered to customers. This is another time lapse video that shows all the components being added into cars. Again, if you search in YouTube, a lot of manufacturers have similar exciting videos where you can see how the cars are made almost similar. Obviously, each manufacturer has their own unique steps involved as well. So the cars continue to move, and at every step, different parts are added. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about Giga Nevada, which is where I work, and this is a ginormous factory where the batteries are made, which is a key part of the electric cars. So this is there's only 30% built, and already the largest battery manufacturing plant in the world. It's a huge factory. The blue areas are where the batteries are made and transported to the red buildings, which is where the batteries are assembled into packs and shipped out to the plant in California. And this is where all the energy products are made as well, the power walls and the power packs for industrial applications. Also, the drive components are made here as well. So this is one of the key factors or drivers for the growth of electric vehicles has been the lithium-ion battery, and Panasonic leads the way in many ways in being the largest supplier of lithium-ion batteries, and that has fundamentally helped the manufacturing and growth of vehicles. So there are many different form factors of batteries. Cylindrical is the most popular and the most easy to scale up in production. It is the lowest cost option, which is what Tesla and other successors such as Lucid and Faraday use. But you also have other form factors, such as a prismatic one, which BMW and Volkswagen use, and the pouch version, which Chevy and Nissan, Renault uses. And just use the fundamental principle of the diagram on the top left. You would have all learned the theory of batteries in your classes, and that is the fundamental element of the electric cars. So in the factory, the cells are all assembled and interconnected with a lot of components into modules, and all these modules are assembled into pack and installed underneath the car. And this is another video that shows the Gigafactory and the scale of production, and some snippets of what happens inside. So it's a huge factory space with a lot of automation to take all the cells and batteries supplied and assemble all of those into battery modules and drive components, and supply to the vehicle assembly factory. And this shows the scale of a human to the size of the factory. It's really ginormous. Okay, so that shows the journey of Tesla, and as I said, sets a very good example for the successors, and many new manufacturers are coming up as well. But for the audience who are all on the brink of making key decisions for what to do next after undergraduate studies, I wanted to just have this snippet. In my eyes, these are the 5 key ingredients which are very relevant. And when I look back, these are, I think, the key qualities or skill sets that will be very useful. So obviously, the key part of everything is having or being ambitious, or being passionate about something. Whatever path is being chosen is going to be hard, and it is very difficult to progress and work towards it if there's no ambition, if there's no interest or love towards something specific. So that is obviously the first key element of everything, and having that drive and desire to achieve and head towards that goal is going to be the first key ingredient. And as I said, in today's scenario, the problems of the world are extremely difficult to solve, which requires a fearless attitude to constantly work and make progress. And at the same time, adjustments would need made in your path, in learning things that you didn't plan on, or taking paths that you didn't plan on, making adjustments on the path you planned for. So the qualities of resilience and being able to adapt constantly is very, very essential. And as I said, the problems of the world today are extremely difficult to solve and are always cross-functional. Gone are the days when we could be siloed into different streams and solve problems in smaller groups. So the hard problems require a lot of cross-functional collaboration, requires many streams and expertise to come together and have a good confluence. So qualities of teamwork and collaboration is going to be very important. And this is where I'll also add, obviously, you're all on the brink of making very important decisions for what you would do next. And my advice would be to not be stressed out about making the perfect choice, whether it be a company or a stream for higher studies. Pick what you have the most inclination towards, what excites you. There'll always be opportunities to be a cross-functional player and learn skill sets and make changes as necessary in the future. So take a step towards what you fundamentally like now, and put your best efforts towards it. Something that Amma shows us is global responsibility. And it's extremely important to be aware always that there's a bigger purpose. And it is important to be focused on solving the most impactful problems for the humankind, as well as for making the world better at the end of the day. And having time for self-care is extremely important. The path is going to be extremely difficult, requires a lot of hard work. Therefore, it's extremely important to take some time for self-care, self-reflection, and that also helps you calibrate constantly on where you're heading and make adjustments towards that goal. So, yeah, I'd like to leave or stop this on that note, and wish you all the best for key decisions coming up. And again, big thanks to the Directorate of Admissions and Academic Outreach for this opportunity and great series.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Thejas, for a wonderful session and a very informative session for the students also. And before we end the session, I would like to hear, like we all would like to hear from you, how your life was at Amrita and how it has helped throughout your journey.
Yeah, there's Nija, and so the first big transition, when you come to campus, when you move from your home and start college, is learning to take life decisions on your own, and that is the first big transition. So in many ways, that is how Amrita sets the foundation for giving an education for life, teaching you how to take valuable, meaningful decisions for life on your own. And the second thing I appreciate the most is the constant encouragement. Although, as I said, me and my friends had very similar. There was a small group of friends who had a very similar interest towards aerospace, which at that time may have been slightly different than mainstream. And the professors and the teachers constantly motivated us to pursue what we liked, and took all the right steps to present us with opportunities, such as sending us for good industrial experiences, motivating us to take steps towards what we essentially like to do. Yeah, I think in those ways, very memorable 4 years, and greatly cherish all my experiences and everything I've gained. And obviously the engineering foundation has been great. A lot of I think building a very good technical aptitude and helping me gain good analytical skills and problem solving skills. I think all the foundation steps have been at Amrita.
Great, really happy to hear that. And once again, thank you for an excellent session. Everyone who is watching us today, I'm sure that you had a wonderful session, and thank you for joining us today. So wishing you all a good day. Thank you.